Welcome to Russia, the largest country in the world. A land that stretches across 11 time zones, where endless birch forests, the mighty Ural Mountains, and timeless rivers weave together. Here, history, culture, and nature blend into a symphony for those ready to explore. Winter in Russia tells a magical tale. Snow-covered streets, rooftops blanketed in frost, and a quiet gray sky. Yet within the cold lies a fierce beauty, candlelight in windows, smoke rising from chimneys, and the warmth of resilient hearts. Moscow, the capital, pulses with life. Skyscrapers rise beside ancient cathedrals, and Red Square echoes with history. Fairy tale domes, ornate metro stations, and crowds in constant motion all form a uniquely Russian rhythm. If Moscow is the heart, St. Petersburg is Russia's artistic soul. Grand palaces reflect on the Neva River, while historic theaters echo timeless symphonies. In the white nights of summer, the sun barely sets, casting an ethereal glow over the city. Far from the cities lies the mythical expanse of Siberia. Untouched nature stretches endlessly, silent taiga forests, the deep lake Baikal, and rivers gliding under ice. It's a land that tests humanity, yet offers profound peace in return. Russia's beauty lies not just in its landscapes, but in its culture. In the music of Tchaikovsky, the deep words of Dostoevsky, and traditions passed down through generations. Most of all, in the heartfelt hospitality, where every smile hides a story waiting to be told. Long ago, along the quiet banks of the Moskva River, only a few wooden huts stood, home to Slavic people living in harmony with nature. They hunted, gathered, and fished. This land had no name yet, but it had a soul. And right here, Moscow would be born. In 1147, Prince Yuri Dolgoruki invited an ally to meet him in a small village called Moskva. It was the first time the name Moscow appeared in recorded history. Just a simple meeting, but it marked the beginning of an entire civilization. To defend the land from invasions, the people built a wooden fortress surrounded by timber walls. It was the first version of the Kremlin, the heart of Moscow's power today. From here, a political center began to take shape. In the 13th century, Mongol forces swept in, burning villages and leaving destruction behind. But Moscow did not disappear. It learned to submit, pay tribute, and grow silently. Even in the shadows, the seed of power quietly matured. After years of submission, Moscow began to rise. Its princes grew wealthy and influential. Under Ivan Kalita, Moscow became the spiritual and administrative capital of all Rus. A new era had begun. In the 16th century, under Ivan the Terrible, Moscow became the supreme center of Russian power. The Kremlin was rebuilt in white stone, and majestic cathedrals rose above the city. An empire was born from this very place. Moscow has burned many times, during invasions by the Tatars, the Poles, and most famously, Napoleon. But each time it fell, it rose again. Like a phoenix, this city always rebirths itself from its own ashes. Today, Moscow is the heart of Russia, both ancient and modern. Behind its old walls lives the soul of centuries. From a humble fishing village, it has become an eternal symbol of Russian pride. Kazan lies at the meeting point of the Volga and Kazanka rivers, a strategic location for thousands of years. It's where Europe meets Asia, where Slavs and Turks crossed paths. From the beginning, Kazan was a land of exchange and transformation. Before it was called Kazan, this land belonged to the Volga Bulgars, an Islamic civilization that thrived from the 9th century. They built cities, established markets, and advanced in science and religion. This was Kazan's true beginning. In the 15th century, after the Mongol Empire collapsed, the Kazan Khanate was born. It was a golden age. Mosques, fortresses, and palaces rose. Kazan became the cultural and political heart of the Tatar people. In 1552, Ivan the Terrible led his army to conquer Kazan after years of conflict. The city was besieged, destroyed, and annexed into Russia. An era ended, but Kazan's spirit did not fade. Under the Russian Empire, Kazan was slowly rebuilt. Orthodox churches and Islamic mosques stood side by side. It became a rare place where two major faiths coexisted, shaping a unique multicultural identity. In the 19th century, Kazan became a hub of education. Kazan University was founded and attracted great minds, like mathematician Lobachevsky and a young Lenin. Knowledge became the light that guided this city. After the Soviet era, Kazan saw a powerful revival of Tatar identity. The Kul Sharif Mosque was rebuilt, and the Tatar language was restored alongside Russian. The city reasserted itself as the spiritual capital of the Tatar people. Today, Kazan is a modern, vibrant city, but it still preserves its ancient majesty. It stands as a living symbol of connection between East and West, Islam and Orthodoxy, tradition and the future. Samara rests beside the mighty Volga River, the lifeline of Russia. For thousands of years, this land was a stop for merchants, nomads, and warriors. The Volga gave Samara life, trade, and sometimes conflict. In 1586, by order of Tsar Fyodor III, a wooden fortress was built to defend Russia's southeastern frontier. From a military outpost, Samara gradually became a vital trading point along the Volga. In the 17th and 18th centuries, Samara thrived from the trade of grain, fish, furs, and salt. Boats crowded the Volga, carrying goods from Kazan and Astrakhan to distant Moscow. Samara became a key link between regions. As a borderland of many peoples and faiths, Samara was home to Russians, Tatars, Mordvins, and Volga Germans. Orthodox churches, mosques, and even Lutheran remnants once echoed with their own bells and prayers. By the late 19th century, railways linked Samara to Russia's industrial regions, launching a new era. The city boomed with factories, processing plants, and a major river port. Samara became a bustling industrial hub. In 1941, as Germany neared Moscow, Samara, then called Kuibyshev, was chosen as the backup capital. The Soviet government relocated here, building ministries, theaters, and even a secret bunker for Stalin. During the Soviet era, Samara became a center for space technology. The rocket that launched Yuri Gagarin, the first human in space, was built here. From its ancient river routes, Samara soared into the space age. Today, Samara is a modern city on the banks of the Volga, filled with lively boulevards, beautiful beaches, and rich heritage. Here, history meets innovation, and tradition blends with creativity to form a unique identity. In the frozen wilds of Siberia lies a deep, silent, sacred lake. The native Buryat people call it the Sacred Sea, a place where the spirits of ancestors dwell. This is Lake Baikal, Russia's eternal symbol. Lake Baikal is unlike any other. It's over 25 million years old, making it the oldest and deepest freshwater lake on Earth. It's not just a body of water, it's a living time machine of geology and life. Baikal was born from a massive rift in the Earth's crust, a rift valley that is still widening today. Tectonic plates slowly pull apart, making the lake deeper and longer with each passing millennium. Baikal's water is so clear that you can see over 40 meters deep in spring. Its ecosystem is nearly untouched, home to over 2,000 species, many found nowhere else on Earth. In winter, Baikal becomes a giant ice mirror, up to 2 meters thick. Cracking ice creates haunting sounds like celestial music. Beneath the ice lies the world's most precious reserve of fresh water. The Buryat believe the lake has a soul. Legends speak of gods and mystical creatures living in its depths. Baikal isn't just a place, it's a living being with moods and personality. Today, Baikal faces many challenges: pollution, over-tourism, and climate change. But scientists, locals, and global organizations are working together to protect Siberia's green heart. Baikal is not just Russia's treasure, it's a wonder for all humankind. With millions of years behind it, the lake speaks not only of the past, but of the living legacy we must pass on. If Earth has a soul, it surely lives in Baikal. In the cold lands of western Siberia, the Ob River flows quietly across vast plains. Along its banks, there was once only forest and steppe. No one could have guessed this place would become Russia's leading center of industry and science. Novosibirsk. In 1893, Russia began building a railway bridge across the Ob River, connecting the Trans-Siberian Railway. A small settlement grew around the construction site. From one bridge, a city was born, originally named Novosibirsk. Thanks to its strategic location, the city grew at lightning speed. Within decades, it transformed from a humble stop into Siberia's hub for transport, commerce, and industry. After the October Revolution, the city was renamed Novosibirsk, meaning New City of Siberia. The name reflected its modern, industrial, and ambitious spirit in Soviet Russia. In 1957, something unprecedented happened. A science city called Yekaterinburg was built deep in the pine forest. Thousands of scientists, professors, and students came, turning Novosibirsk into Russia's third largest knowledge hub after Moscow and St. Petersburg. Winters in Novosibirsk can drop to 30 degrees, but its people are used to the cold. Even when snow blankets the city, life moves on. Trams running, factories humming, and lights never going out. Beyond industry, Novosibirsk has a vibrant cultural life. Home to Russia's largest opera house, fine art museums, a conservatory, and winter festivals, it's a cultural capital in the heart of Siberia. Today, Novosibirsk is a high-tech, youthful, and dynamic city. Amid the snowy landscape, it rises boldly as a symbol of rebirth and progress, a modern city in the heart of the wild. The Katun River begins from the glaciers of Mount Belukha, the highest peak in the Altai Mountains. From melting ice, an emerald green river is born. Katun is more than water. It's the living soul, flowing through Altai's veins. The people of Altai believe Katun is a river goddess, gentle yet powerful. In legend, she marries the Bia River, and where they meet, the mighty Ob River is born. No other river in Russia matches Katun's jade green color. The water changes with the seasons, from crystal clear to vivid emerald. Every bend is a living canvas painted by nature. For thousands of years, Turkic nomads have lived along Katun, herding, fishing, and pitching yurts by the river. Its waters fed families, fields, and traditions. Katun is the gentle mother of the Altai nomads. The Katun flows through taiga forests, grasslands, cliffs, and deep valleys. Its surrounding ecosystem is rich. Bears, antelope, eagles, and hundreds of rare plant species live along its banks. With roaring rapids and sharp turns, Katun is a dream for adventurers. In summer, hundreds of thrill-seekers kayak down its wild waters, confronting the raw power of nature. To the Altai people, Katun is sacred. They burn incense by the river and tie prayer ribbons to trees for blessings. Along Katun, ancient rituals still live, where nature and spirit are one. Katun never stops flowing, not even in the frozen depths of winter. Beneath the ice, it runs quietly. Like a silent heartbeat, Katun reminds us that nature always breathes, always lives. Kamchatka lies in Russia's far east, over 6,000 kilometers from Moscow. Surrounded by the Pacific Ocean and the Sea of Okhotsk, it was once called the land beyond reach, wild, majestic, and cut off from the world. Home to over 160 volcanoes, 29 of them active, Kamchatka is one of the most volcanically alive places on Earth. Peaks like Kluchevskaya Sopka erupt in fiery bursts against snowy backdrops, a primal dance of ice and fire. In Kamchatka, hot rivers flow through snow, steam rises from the earth, and mud boils in bubbling pools. The Valley of Geysers is one of the rare places on Earth where dozens of natural geysers erupt side by side. Kamchatka is home to brown bears, bald eagles, Arctic foxes, and countless salmon. Here, nature is not dominated by humans. Humans must learn to live in harmony with the wild. Before Russia arrived, Kamchatka was home to the Atelman and Koryak peoples, indigenous tribes who hunted, gathered, and worshipped the spirits of nature. Today, they continue to preserve their ancestral culture in this volcanic land. Kamchatka was once a closed military zone during the Soviet era, off-limits to foreigners. As a result, much of its nature remains untouched, preserved from the grasp of urbanization. Kamchatka's winters are long and harsh, but summer brings an explosion of life. Wildflowers blanket the plains, salmon rush into rivers, and the skies dance with northern light. Short-lived, but unforgettable. Kamchatka is not an easy place to live, but that's what makes it sacred. It reminds us that some lands cannot be tamed, only respected and quietly listened to. Located on the warm shores of the Black Sea, Sochi is Russia's most famous resort city. With sandy beaches, palm trees, and a subtropical climate, it's often called the Russian Riviera. Before becoming a resort, Sochi was home to the Circassians, an indigenous people of the forests and mountains. They called it Shacha, meaning light, a land where mountains meet the sea. In the late 19th century, Russian Tsars discovered Sochi as a healing paradise. Villas, mineral spas, and lush parks were built for the aristocracy. During the Soviet era, Sochi was transformed into a public resort city. Sochi became the summer escape of the elite. Millions of workers and soldiers vacationed here as a state reward. Stalin's summer dacha still stands as a historical landmark. Few places on Earth let you ski in the morning and swim in the afternoon. With the Caucasus Mountains behind and the Black Sea ahead, Sochi boasts a climate and landscape like no other. In 2014, Sochi took the world stage as host of the Winter Olympics. The city was modernized with stadiums, highways, and the Olympic Village, marking its transformation from resort town to global city. Sochi offers more than beaches. It boasts ancient forests, national parks, waterfalls, and hot springs. The Caucasus Biosphere Reserve, a UNESCO site, shelters rare leopards and hundreds of plant species. Today, Sochi is a blend of nature, sports, history, and leisure. While modernizing fast, the city still preserves its charm and raw beauty, a vibrant symbol of contemporary Russia. Standing at 5,642 meters, Mount Elbrus is the highest peak in Europe. Nestled in the mighty Caucasus Range, it's known as the roof of the old continent, a sacred symbol of untamed nature. Elbrus has two snowy summits, east and west, forming a giant natural crown. Locals believe it's the dwelling of gods, a place where heaven and earth meet. According to Greek legend, Prometheus, who gave fire to mankind, was chained to Elbrus as punishment. Each day, an eagle tore at his liver, symbolizing human endurance and sacrifice. Even in summer, Elbrus's peak stays snow-covered. Massive glaciers flow slowly, carving time itself in stone and ice, a timeless machine of nature. Conquering Elbrus is no easy feat. Harsh weather, strong winds, and high altitude challenge even the best climbers. Yet thousands come each year, not just to reach the summit, but to conquer themselves. The lands around Elbrus are home to peoples like the Balkars, Karachais, and Circassians. They live among the mountains, passing down language, music, and legend, guardians of Elbrus's spirit. During World War II, Elbrus saw battles between Soviet forces. The Soviet flag was raised on its summit as a symbol of courage. Today, it welcomes travelers, climbers, and lovers of the wild. Elbrus is more than a mountain. It's a lesson in resilience, a monument to nature's majesty, and a symbol of the human urge to reach beyond limits. Those who gaze upon Elbrus carry eternity in their hearts. In 1703, Tsar Peter the Great stood on the banks of the Neva and saw a new future for Russia. He didn't just want to build a city, he wanted a symbol. A place that would connect Russia to Europe, to the sea, and to the future. And from marshes and frost, St. Petersburg was born, not by chance, but by steel will and grand vision. St. Petersburg did not rise from gentle soil. It was built on the blood and bones of tens of thousands of laborers in snowstorms and brutal cold. Yet, from that suffering, the city rose with granite, palaces, and gleaming boulevards. A city born not just of architecture, but of sacrifice and a fierce will to live. Though built in Western style, St. Petersburg carries a deeply Russian soul, dreamy and tragic. Its canals mirror gray skies and golden domes. Snowy nights stir a longing that words can't capture. This city isn't just to be seen, it's to be felt. Here lived the greatest minds. Pushkin wrote immortal verses, Dostoevsky explored the human soul, and Tchaikovsky composed melodies that still move the world. Museums, theaters, and libraries form a living symphony. In St. Petersburg, art doesn't just exist, it breathes. From June to July, the sun never truly sets. The city glows all night, as if caught in an eternal dream. People stroll at 2 a.m., music flows from open squares, and the Neva's bridges rise like arms embracing the sky. The white nights are St. Petersburg's gift to those who know how to slow down. During World War II, the city, then called Leningrad, endured an 872-day siege. No power, no food, yet their spirit never dimmed. They composed music in the cold, staged plays amid bombs, and preserved life like a miracle. Leningrad triumphed not just with weapons, but with soul. From the lavish hermitage to the majestic St. Isaac's Cathedral, from the ancient Peter and Paul Fortress to the dazzling Peterhof Palace, each site is a stone symphony. Every column, every painting tells a story, not with words, but through light and space. You can leave St. Petersburg, but it never leaves you. The golden domes will return in your dreams. The Neva's quiet waves will echo whenever you remember. This is a city of souls, of love, of timeless beauty. St. Petersburg is not a destination, but a feeling. Located at Russia's far eastern edge, Vladivostok feels like a world apart, nearly 9,300 km from Moscow. Built as a military outpost in the 19th century, it grew into Russia's gateway to the Pacific, where the nation looks east with ambition, openness, and hope for global connection. In Vladivostok, Russian architecture blends with Asian spirit. Church bells ring beside cargo ships from Japan, Korea, and China. Here, Europe and Asia don't clash. They blend, forming a unique, modern, and vibrant identity. Vladivostok marks the end of the Trans-Siberian Railway, a 9,000 kilometers journey from Moscow through forests, mountains, and steppe. But for many, it's not an ending, it's a beginning, where the journey into a different Russia begins anew. At dawn, mist covers Golden Horn Bay, and ships emerge like ghosts on a silver sea. Every wave tells a story. Life in Vladivostok revolves around the ocean, from fishermen casting nets to Navy parades, from busy fish markets to seaside cafes. The Ruski Bridge, the world's longest cable-stayed bridge, connects the mainland to Ruski Island. More than an engineering feat, it's a symbol of Vladivostok's drive to modernize, a bridge from isolated past to open future. Today, Vladivostok is youthful and creative, home to street festivals, indie music, graffiti art, and seaside cafes. Students from across Russia and Asia come here to learn, explore, and shape a new generation, dynamic, multicultural, and full of dreams. Beneath its modern surface, Vladivostok retains its military soul: imperial-era forts, Cold War bunkers, submarines, and naval monuments. Once a secret military base, the city's defense legacy still shapes its collective memory. Vladivostok isn't just a city, it's a statement. A place where Russia speaks to the world not through conflict, but through trade, culture, and human connection. Those who visit know Vladivostok isn't on the edge, it's on the threshold of something new. Yekaterinburg sits on the border between Europe and Asia, where you can literally stand with one foot on each continent. But it's more than a geographical landmark. It symbolizes a blend: tradition and modernity, old Russia and new, industry and art. Founded in 1723 by Peter the Great, Yekaterinburg began as a center for metallurgy and mining. Over the centuries, it grew into one of Russia's industrial powerhouses, where steel, coal, and machinery didn't just build the city, but defined its destiny. In 1918, Tsar Nicholas II and his family were executed in Yekaterinburg, ending the Romanov dynasty after more than 300 years. The Ipatiev house where it happened was demolished, but today, the church on the blood stands in its place, a haunting reminder of a nation's turning point. During the Soviet era, the city was renamed Sverdlovsk, a hub of military and heavy industry. It was once so secret, it barely appeared on maps. Concrete blocks, aging factories, and Soviet monuments still stand, quiet ghosts of another time. Today, Yekaterinburg is awakening as a creative capital, home to underground rock, contemporary art, photography, and street culture. Old factories have become galleries and creative spaces. A new generation is turning this industrial city into the artistic heart of the Urals. Yekaterinburg is often called the unofficial capital of the Ural Mountains, not just geographically, but culturally. It brings together workers, artists, scholars, and entrepreneurs. Here, difference isn't divided, it's the foundation of a vibrant identity. With over 20 universities, Yekaterinburg pulses with student life and youthful energy. Cafes, open spaces, tech events, and art scenes create a fresh rhythm. That's why many young people stay, not for the past, but for the future. Yekaterinburg isn't Russia's biggest or richest city, but it may be its most remarkable. Sitting between Europe and Asia, past and future, tragedy and rebirth, it mirrors Russia itself, complex, conflicted, and full of hope. Surrounded by green hills and winding rivers, Ufa sits between steppe and forest. It began in the 16th century, when Ivan the Terrible built a fortress to defend Russia's southern frontier. But Ufa was never just a garrison. It grew into the cultural heart of a unique people. Ufa is the homeland of the Bashkirs, a Turkic people with their own language, music, and traditions. The melodies of the Kuray flute, hand-embroidered garments, and oral legends form the soulful, proud identity of this land. In Ufa, Islam and Orthodoxy have coexisted for centuries. Orthodox domes rise beside grand mosques. Here, tolerance isn't just a concept, it's a way of life in a city where East and West gently intertwine. The Belaya River, White River, winds through Ufa like a soft ribbon. It's where Bashkirs hold festivals, where art is inspired, and where history quietly flows. It nourishes the city, body, and soul. Ufa is renowned for its folk music, ballet, and even ice hockey. It's the birthplace of legendary poets, opera singers, and athletes. Whether on stage or on ice, Ufa doesn't just perform. It proudly shines with talent and passion. As one of Russia's major oil centers, Ufa balances nature and industry. Along its avenues, factories stand near birch forests cloaked in morning mist, a quiet symphony of steel and trees. Today, Ufa is a city of youth, startups, tech, and cafes with ethnic charm. While it grows rapidly, it keeps a peaceful rhythm, where you can sip traditional Bashkir tea and scroll Wi-Fi under calm skies. Ufa isn't as loud as Moscow or as grand as St. Petersburg, but it's a steady current, the quiet heart of multi-ethnic Russia. Everyone who visits feels something unforgettable, a warmth, a calm, and a deep, genuine spirit. Suzdal is unlike any other place in Russia. No metro, no skyscrapers, just meadows, a quiet river, and ancient onion domes. Here, time doesn't rush. It flows gently, like the soft ringing of monastery bells each morning. In the 12th century, Suzdal was the capital of a powerful principality. For centuries, it has preserved medieval Russia, white stone walls, wooden homes, and hand-built churches. Every step you take here is a step back in time. From afar, Suzdal rises with blue, silver, and golden onion domes. Each dome tells a story of a fallen prince, a venerated saint, or a nameless battle remembered in folk memory. Under these domes, you don't just see, you listen. Suzdal's many ancient monasteries resemble small fortresses. Thick walls, watchtowers, and red brick gates stand as protectors of faith against the storms of time. Despite invasions, wars, and revolution, these monasteries endure and pray. The small Kamenka River winds through the city like a silk ribbon. On its calm surface, church domes, drifting clouds, and the silhouette of the past all reflect. Kamenka may be small, but it's Suzdal's lifeblood and silent witness. Along the dirt roads, traditional wooden houses stand with carved window frames and colorful shutters. Each home is an open book, telling of long winters, village weddings, and the laughter of generations. Suzdal may be small, but it never lacks music or joy. From the Pickle Festival to Easter week and sacred processions, celebrations fill the calendar. People here believe no joy is too small to honor with a song. Suzdal isn't a modern metropolis, but that stillness makes it priceless. In a world that moves too fast, Suzdal is where you can pause, breathe, and hear the ancient heart of Russia still beating. Until next time, on another road, in another corner of Russia, beneath this endless sky. But once you've been to Russia, you'll always want to return, to see more, to feel more, to understand more. That's Russia. Simple, sincere, unforgettable. Every journey must end. But you won't forget standing still in a snowy forest or the moment someone offered you tea without speaking your language. You might forget mountain names or alleys you wandered. Every step has marked a story. And when strung together, it's not just a trip. You carry a part of Russia within you. Everywhere you've been, busy Moscow, wild Kamchatka, quiet Urals, is a page in your memory. You come to Russia not to see, but to feel. It's vastness that maps can't measure. A warm smile in winter, a hot cup of tea, an old folk tune echoing softly. Russia isn't just the Kremlin or Matryoshka dolls. From ancient cities along the Volga to the wild Altai mountains, from Siberia's frozen breath to Baltic sunsets, every place you visited has left a piece in your heart. The journey through Russia may end, but the emotions linger.